I usually don't do this, man. Shout out to the homies. Got you. Straight drop. I'm about to go crazy, you lame niggas. Dirty Harry, let me paint with ya. I swear you should've brought a gang with ya. You niggas hurting, I'm the painkiller. Live hypocrites, little nigga, I'm sick of this. All you Luther, I'm Mr. X. Bet your bitch call you Minute Man. Got that hoe trying to tricks out of minivan. I told you the God running. I see all of these con artists speaking foul on us. If you knew what I knew, you would bow, ho. But you get right and run in your mouth, though. Fake ass activist sound mixed with this rapping shit, and I'm the advocate. Just stick to the facts and quit. See, we know you ain't slapping shit, but that ratchet bitch got the hoe on one knee like she Kaepernick. Let the game touch the water, no battleship. See, that's L after L, change the pattern. I'm the champ, we got more rings than Saturn. This is not even practice. I had to mention I got 10 other styles in the package hidden for any other nigga that gotta get it. I was sunning straight up, give his ass the business. Chosen, can you a bitch? Like Larry the Rat King. Cut dealers the last thing I'm worried about, man. You haters is last week. Chosen, can you a bitch? Like Larry the Rat King. Cut dealers the last thing I'm worried about, man. You haters is last week. Last week. Last week. Last week.
Hey everybody. Excuse me. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. Tonight I wanted to go over a story, and it's a story for us, but unfortunately it was actually the lives of two girls, and their names are June and Jennifer Gibbons. And they were born twins, and you know they had a love-hate relationship for each other. It's like they couldn't stand to be around each other, and then as they got older, it's just they literally tried to kill each other at separate different times. So we'll get into that. So first of all, to give you a little bit, I wanted to play a little bit of the diary from June to give you a little bit of where her mind was. Here we go.
Without my shadow, would I die? Without my shadow, would I gain life? Increase my situation or decrease it? Be free or left to die?
My name is Jude.
So she wanted to know how it would feel to be free. So what I'm going to do now is going to share my screen. I'm going to get it right this time, you guys. So right here, do. Okay. So pictures I'm going to open up. Now these girls' parents are from Barbados. Let me zoom in a little bit. I'm also going to be showing you some video. These little girls' parents were from Barbados, and they moved to England in 1960. Now in 1963, the girls were born. They were born in April. And when they were born, of course, the parents were ecstatic. They were full of joy. They felt like they were overly blessed with identical twins. Then came a little bit of, complications. They weren't speaking on a timely manner. And when they did speak, you can tell that they had a severe speech impediment. Okay, let me go to this other picture I have here. They had a severe speech impediment. So, but the thing about it is these girls, although the common folk, probably you and I, even if we were around at that time, they didn't understand them, but the girls understood each other perfectly fine. In fact, they made their own language. So, the mother had to often guess what they were saying. Now, this is the mother, the one who birthed them, raised them, tried to teach them their proper motor skills, I'm assuming, trying to get, them to form their words correctly, watching the shapes of her mouth and things like that. This is her. And She had a hard time understanding what they were saying, and that really gave her a lot of concern. And also when the mother would ask the twin a question, no matter which twin it was, that twin would always make eye contact with the other one. They didn't understand it. The parents just thought, hey, that's part of being a twin. I mean, we all know there's no handbooks or guidebooks to raising kids, period, and especially twins. So they just, they just went on with it. So, but the twins were frustrated, and what frustrated them was that they had to keep repeating themselves. Could you imagine that? They repeated themselves way more than the average person would have to. So with that being said, they just went on and shut down and just stopped talking. They stopped talking altogether. Here's another picture. This is another picture of them. So they stopped talking. They just stopped talking. They wouldn't talk to anybody. This also made the twins, you know, antisocial and being picked on. So in 1974, the family ended up settling in Wales. Okay. At this time, the twins were 11 years old. And when they went to secondary school, they were, they were conscious. They were very well behaved. However, y'all, they were silent. I mean, they would not say anything. So this obviously concerned all of the teachers, and it frustrated the other kids around. Could you imagine? Kids are harsh nowadays. They say times change and all that. Kids have been mean since the beginning of time, and I can just imagine, what these kids were saying to these girls. They just started to taunt them and bully them. Matter of fact, they did it so much and so long that the school had to let the twin girls, Jennifer and June, they had to let them out of class 5 minutes early every single day. Every day. They knew they were being bullied. That's how bad it was. Okay. The girls knew that they were different. They weren't crazy, in their head like that. They understood that they were different. Not only were they twins, they were a different color than all the other kids in the school. There were only black kids in the school. So not speaking was like an extra strike. So the other kids, excuse me, the other kids didn't even think that the twins knew how to speak English. I mean, that's how silent they were. So they just started guessing. They like, if you're not going to say anything, we just don't start. We're going to start guessing. So they just surmised that they didn't know how to speak English. And the more people asked the girls to speak, the more and more they went silent. Now, in 1976, there was what they call a vaccination session, against tuberculosis. And at this time, there were no black people in the area that this doctor had ever saw, right? He said he would have a long row of little white arms and then a black one. Another row of little white arms and then a black one, which was different. They hadn't seen it before. The doctor tried to get the girls to converse with him, and in his own words was that it was a complete and utter waste of time. In the meantime, these girls are still being taunted and called names like chocolate drop. Now that really made them mad. They didn't like being called chocolate drop for whatever reason. Some women may take that nowadays, as something positive, or something nice, something sweet, something that what a guy might say to them. But these twins wasn't having it. They did not like it, and it really made them upset. Okay, so the girls were expressionless. Let me get the other picture. Hold on. The girls were expressionless. You would speak to them. Let me zoom this in. You would speak to them, and they wouldn't make eye contact. They wouldn't even acknowledge the fact that you were even speaking to them. Okay, now I'm going to show you some video right quick. If I don't mess it up. First of all, let me make sure I'm still sharing, because last time Okay, we in the building. We in the dough. We in the dough. Okay. Let me say, y'all still with me? Y'all still with me? Okay, y'all with me. Now this is video. See if I can make it bigger. Okay. This is video of the girls. Now I'm going to press play. You're going to see them getting out of the car and how they move. Now, there's a psychologist that diagnosed the girls as elective mutes. The school couldn't do anything with them, so at 14, they were referred to the Eastgate Center. Now, the Eastgate Center was for the special education. Hold on, let me get out of there. Okay, okay, they were for kids that needed the special education and stuff. So there was a new teacher there, and they tried to prepare. This old school tried to prepare this new school about these girls. Right now, they did this verbally. There was no paperwork. These people called this school. What was the name of it? Called the Eastgate Center, and said that these girls were dumb, very negative in school, very secretive. This is what the teacher was verbally told. The new teacher. It was nothing about academics, nothing. So this teacher didn't find any of that to be true. None of it. Once the girls got there, she had her own experiences, and she was like, I don't see any of that. Now, true enough, they did not speak at all. And they told them that they definitely didn't speak English. Now, see, they didn't know that because the girls had never spoken, but this is information that they're transferring to this new teacher. This teacher described the gibberish that the girls did speak. She described it as African click language. African click language is what she described it as. Okay, let me go to the another part of the video. We're gonna go to so let me make it bigger. This is the girl, some rare footage. Now this footage, the girl didn't know that this footage was being done. And they did this so that they can chart the girls' progress. Now when they did this, the teacher found out that they actually did speak. And they spoke to each other. Okay? So what they did was they ended up setting up microphones inside of the classroom to record the conversations. Now, at first they couldn't understand a word that the girls were saying on the tapes. And then they had to slow them down. And in fact, they were actually speaking English the whole time. They were just talking very, 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 very fast. Okay. They also found out, hold on one second. Let me move up just a little bit. They also found out that their personalities were very different. This is video of them sitting there. This is June, as you can see on the screen, and Jennifer. And just by their behavior, this counselor was trying to communicate with them. They would not speak. They were only willing to do things on paper, write things down. They only communicated with each other. Okay. So let me get out of here for a second. Y'all still with me? Let me see. Y'all with me? Okay. Yep. Y'all with me? We got it. Okay. So the twins thought that when they became like teenagers, that they would have individual lives. You know, they did have a younger sister by the name of Rosie, and they had to share a room with her. So, you know, they spoke to her a little bit occasionally. And as sisters, They play dolls together and play dress up and stuff like that. But when the twins turned 11, honey, they kicked Rosie ass out the room. They stopped speaking to her and their parents. They just was done with everybody. When they hit 11, it's just, they were just done. The girls ate in their bedroom. They didn't like chewing in front of people. And I'm going to show you some video right now of them actually eating at the school and how, one second, how they were in sync and how they moved. This is actual footage of the girls. They sat next to each other and ate in unison. This baffled the other kids, and they just started ignoring them. The kids would start with everybody else. The girls would start the meals, but the speed at which they ate and the amount of food that they meticulously put on their fork, the other kids had seconds and were done by the time the girls finished their first go around, their first serving. Look at how they're just meticulous. Wow. This is actual footage of June and Jennifer Gibson at lunch eating. Okay, let me get out of here. Y'all still with me? Okay, yeah, I know to check now because last time I was crazy. I don't know what I did, but I bumped everything out. Anyway, so the girls wanted to be their own individuals, but they felt stuck. Hold on one second. I'm looking for, where's that picture? Oh my God. I hope this is the one. Oh my God. Anyway, so they felt stuck. Is this the one? Okay, I'll use that one. Okay, so they were stuck. They wrote and they were fascinated about even the thought of being separated. They felt that if they were separated, they'd be able to talk and eat and walk normal if they only could be separated. June said, one of us should go and one of us should stay here because they act stupid together. This is what she said in her diary. June said, one of us should go and one of us should stay here because we act stupid together. Now, Jennifer, the twin, she shared the exact same feelings. The school tried to decide which one would move. The school told the girls that they had to decide. The school wasn't getting involved in that. They really didn't want to be involved. But see, that made the girls mad. So they fought. They fought about who was leaving. And after being silent for all this time, child, they was in there screaming and yelling at each other. And that shocked everybody that was around because they weren't used to these girls speaking or anything. So to hear them going at it and yelling and stuff, they were stunned. So June was the one that thought that she could make it on her own. June she stopped eating though. She stopped moving around. She stopped dressing herself. She would sit on her bed and just cry in hysterics. Let me show you a little bit more of the video. Okay, we're going to 16:11. I hope you guys enjoying this so far. 16. Okay, so you guys pay very close to this attention to this video. So people said that their behavior was a game. June expressed extreme distress and this is what really led. I'm sorry, stop playing. This is what really led to the breakdown of the separation. So you can see this is how they actually were. And people, everybody thought that it was a game. All the psychiatrists and everything, they just said that, they brushed it off and said, well, when the girls get 16 or 17, they'll just get picked up and then they'll be diagnosed as schizophrenic and just, be done away with. But they weren't the only ones who wonder what would happen to them. I mean, like, what's going to happen? These girls are locked in this world, and they're in it together, and it's a constant struggle, and it gets worse. Okay, so hold on, I lost my little spot. Okay, yeah, so they thought that when they turned 16 and 17 that they would be diagnosed with schizophrenic. The kids were worried. Their parents were even worried, and they wondered about what would happen to them. So they ended up leaving Eastgate at the age of 16. But when they left, they stopped school. They stopped everything altogether. What they did was they then isolated themselves for 2 whole years. 2 years. 2 whole years. They isolated themselves. So what they did was they found themselves pen pals, and they decided to just start writing different people all over the world. The girls also, after 2 years, signed up for a course called The Act of Conversation. Okay? The Art of Conversation. They paid for it, they attended it, but it just really didn't work out for them. So they just decided to be writers. They felt like they couldn't really get with the outside world. They weren't really comfortable of even saying, good morning and starting a conversation, or being, just being with people see as normal everyday stuff that we do in passing, just as common courtesy. For whatever reason, it was a struggle. It was a struggle for these girls to do what a lot of us just take for granted, including myself. So anyway, they decided to become writers in their mind. They stayed up all day and all night. They really wanted their parents to be proud of them, but soon, they stopped that too. So bam, 1981 hit. The girls turned 18 years old. 18. They felt like leaving the bedroom. They wanted to leave. And when they did leave, they ran into 2 American brothers. The brothers had noticed the girls. So, but these boys, now the girls didn't know at that exact moment, but these boys were bad news. These boys had already committed arson and theft. Okay. So the girls saw, and they liked them. They started trying to show up wherever the guys were. They started to, be at their house with their hair done and dressed all up with makeup, and they even have on hats and everything. So the girls really thought that the boys had loved them too. They got involved with sex, drugs, and alcohol while dealing with these boys. While they were under the influence, both the girls noticed that it was easy to express themselves when intoxicated. So they would laugh, stumble home drunk, and wrote down what they had done in their diaries. They always kept their diaries. These boys were with the feds. One of them wrote it in there. So they're knowing now, at this point, they know that these dudes are bad news and what they had been into. So, but now their feelings have been involved. They've been around no one but each other, their little sister, until they kicked her out. So now these dudes are giving them attention, and so the girls started to fight. They started to fight for both of their attention. I mean, fight until where it turned violent. Jennifer, she actually admitted and was proud of trying to kill her sister by strangling her with a wire from a radio. Okay. Jennifer felt that her sister wanted to kill her too. So she just wasn't even, she was like, yeah, but I bet you she wants, she want me dead too. It's not, it's whoever get whoever first. June had pushed Jennifer. Now the other one, this is the other one. June had pushed Jennifer into the rivers, excuse me, and she contemplated killing her then. All she wanted to do was to be free. But Jennifer was able to break loose, and they stood there cursing each other out and bringing up old stuff from the past. It's like they both felt like it was the best summer that they ever had because it was the only one that they would have spent free and out of the bedroom, and you'll soon know why. So, they felt like they had been in love that summer. They had did all this stuff and everything. So one day, using the skills that they had learned from the boys, the girls decided to break into a house. And they stole some things. And after they did it, I guess the conscience kind of kicked in and they got scared. So they didn't do that anymore for a while. But what they did do was not long after that, they discovered the nightlife and they started hanging out and looking for trouble, So June 19, this is 1981 in June. I'm sorry, 1981. June wrote that she was fascinated of burning down a store. No, she fantasized about burning down a store. She fantasized about burning down a storefront. And she did. And she did it with the help of her sister. Her and her sister went over with petrol. They poured it all around the store and they ignited it. And when they did this, it was the greatest day in their lives. I mean, they were just so happy. They were thrilled. They said that they were going to burn down the whole damn town. That's how juiced they were about it. They were so proud of what they're doing. And they sat there and watched the firemen try to contain the fire. And they also said that it was a picture that would live in their mind for the rest of their lives. So, needless to say, they made the paper. They were placed under arrest because they were caught, and those same diaries were used as evidence. Okay, so now they were sent to a place called. I'm going to show you some more video. Now they were transferred to a place called Puckle Church. Okay, it's a remand center. And it's in Bristol. Okay, so they stayed there for a full 7 months, just awaiting trial. They sat there for 7 months. Okay, and within that time, what did they do, y'all? They went silent again. They stopped speaking. They wouldn't speak to anybody. June did express some remorse for her mother. She knew that her mother did the best that she could with them. She said her mother was a good mother, was married and had her kids and gave them a good life, and she didn't deserve to be going through basically what she and her sister had been taking her through. So they did show, some remorse. So they couldn't stand to be with each other, but they also couldn't stand to be apart. And so they were able to share a cell at that time. Okay. Again, they baffled the staff by their behavior. I mean, like doing the same stuff, moving in the same way, but June felt like whatever she was going through was nowhere as severe as her sister Jennifer. She just thought Jennifer was just, was way out there and needed help. That's the way that she saw her. So, but they both were diagnosed as schizophrenia. The doctors was trying to keep the girls out of prison. This was his main agenda, okay? Because he understood that if they went to the penitentiary, there was going to be no treatment there. The girls pled guilty to their crimes, and they happily went to another place called Broadmoor Hospital, and they were sent there indefinitely. Now, when their parents heard the words indefinitely, they knew and understood then what was happening. They said their goodbyes to their girls, and they were traumatized about the whole situation. They are 19 19 years old at this time. At this time, they're 19, sentenced to this place indefinitely for the arson. They did not send them to the penitentiary. But of course, the girls didn't like the facility. They was talking about it was just too many people and this and that and that and this. The dad was distressed. You know, the girls were kept on separate wards at this when they were transferred, and after 2 years, they still weren't speaking. They wouldn't say nothing. Okay, they were given tranquilizers and a whole lot of drugs. After that, they did start to speak just a little bit. So in 1995, there was a meeting about putting the girls on the same ward, and the answer was no. Let me show you some video. 1 second. You still with me right here? Yes. Okay. We are going to So this is like I said, we call it a story, most of us, but it's just, I mean, if you think about it, this is really someone's life. I mean, you know. Oh shoot. I can never get this right where I want it, so I'm gonna start it right here. So the girls were hoping on getting out on April Fool's Day. Those are the girls right there. They're hoping on getting out on April Fool's Day. I've lost my spot. Hold on. Okay. So they were hoping to get out on April Fool's Day, like I said 4 times already. They were able to visit each other, you know, in the meantime, and they were also able to write back and forth, even though they were still in there. You know, they didn't completely, you know, shut them down and told them, you know, no communication. Because I know some pens, if someone else is in a pen, that's it. That's all. There's just no communication. Jennifer said that that it would be long. That she would die long before June. Now this is a twin. The twin Jennifer said that she would die long before June. Okay, they were talking about. Excuse me. They were talking about, you know, being released and things like that. They had court hearings every single year, and they kept being denied. So fast forward to 1990. They are released. Hallelujah. They are released. 1993, a month before their 30th birthday, they finally were allowed to be transferred. Now, they ain't went yet, but they got the word that they could be transferred, okay? So the day before they left, Jennifer, she fell, as they quoted, unwilled. She laid her head on her sister's shoulder and said that she was tired. And unfortunately, hold on. Unfortunately, this is the last picture that was taken at the facility before the ladies left, and that's the worker in the middle. So this was the last photo. She passed away at 8 p.m. the same night. The same night. They said that she passed away of inflammation of the heart muscle. But the thing about it is, this is a rare disorder, and it's seldom fatal. Seldom fatal. Okay? They allowed June to see her sister for a half hour. They allowed her to spend time with her body. Jennifer had earrings on and a hat that had been taken off of the body and laid on the table. So June picked them up and kept them in memory of her sister. She was devastated when she actually like understood that her sister was dead. I mean, you get mad. I wish you was dead. I hate you. I can't stand you. Just but you know that person actually dying, so that really took an effect on Joan. So March 9th, 1993, June wrote in her diary about the passing of her sister. She said that she was in hysteria with grief. I mean, she was really overwhelmed. After a year, June did feel a sense of some freedom though. And on March 18th, 1994, let me give you some video. Let me give you some video. I'm almost done. So on this day, this is her, this is June. This is June doing her thing, preparing to enter the world. She was free. She was free. She was going to be free of incarceration. She was released out on parole. So this is her live footage of sorry, of June. This is the going away party that they gave for her. That's June sitting there. This is the going away party that the facility had did for her. And you know what? I thought that that was very nice. I really do. There's some cake. It's saying saying good luck June on it. There's some more people that that are present that I'm sure helped her through her experience. Giving her kisses and well wishes, and there she is. There she is. That's her. Okay, so 1 second. Make sure y'all still with me. I ain't fell off. Okay, y'all still with me. Good. Okay, so let me see. Right here. So anyway, this is June today. This is June today, and she still lives over in England. Now, she spent 13 years inside of a secondary hospital. Okay, now she's free after 13 years. Let me go to some more video right quick of showing her being released and the basically just the whole expression. You know, it's just I don't know. See for yourself. This is her packing her things and, you know, getting ready to start over, to start a new chapter in her life. Okay. And the parents said that they deal with reoccurring images of their late daughter, Jennifer. And they said that it's something, you know, that they're just going to have to deal with. This is June still taking down photos and things in her preparation to leave and start her new life. All the pictures of herself, her sister. Okay, let me get out of here. Y'all still with me? Let me see. Yep, still with me. Okay, so now June said that it's a big responsibility for her now, but this responsibility makes her stronger. And she's speaking of the death of her sister. She says she's living for both of them. She says she feels her sister and that there was no other way for them to live and that they both understood that. and that she loves her sister, and her sister's death has made her 10 times stronger. I have one more small piece of video with June at the cemetery placing flowers on her sister's grave. One second. Or no, I think I missed the part. I missed the drive. I missed the parents pulling up to pick her up. That's really that's really something to see. So let me play that little part. So this is her waiting on her parents. She's waiting on her parents to come pick her up. You know, she's anxious. You know, where you at? Here they are driving up. And they pull up. There she is. This is June Gibbons. That's her mother. That's the dad. So they're there to pick her up and take her home and, you know, love on her, cherish her. Now she's back in the room, kind of, you know, getting herself together. She says that she's improving day by day. And she was born a twin. And she says that she will die a twin. So this is the last piece of footage that I'm going to show you guys right here. If I can get there. What is wrong with my little thing? Oh my God, it will start cutting up right now. One second. Okay, so this is June at the cemetery for her sister, Jennifer. So, as I said before, June is alive today and well. She lives in Wales, in England. And everyone knows her story. She does speak. She walks. She does everything that she thought that she was not able to do. So that's the story of June and June and Jennifer Gibbons. Okay. Oh, I think I did everything right for a change. Hallelujah. Hold on one second. Let me see. Get out of here. Okay. Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay, I'm on my way inside the chat now. Since I done got shop and then learned how to, well, Elijah told me a couple of days ago, but you know, I get on here and I get to rattling off and start talking about a story and I forget all the buttons I'm supposed to be pressing. So I'm waiting for it to load up. I'm now in the chat. Yeah, this, like I said, this was a very, I mean, it's fascinating, but I almost feel guilty of saying that because, you know, at the same time, I do understand that, you know, this is someone's actual life, and for the parents, I just couldn't imagine, you know, having to go. I don't know. I shouldn't say that they went through anything. But you know, I don't know. It's just devastating. Hi everybody. Hey World News, Tony Laststill, Cross, Charles. Hey, Juana. Hi everybody. Thank y'all for coming in and listening. So that was a story regarding the twins. I hope everybody enjoyed it. And stand by, and I'll be having more stories probably a couple of times a week. If there is one that you in particularly would like to go over, you can email me at independentbaygirl@gmail.com. That's independentbaygirl@gmail.com. Thank you all so much for coming. Hello, Lisa, Miss Red. Hello, everybody. Hey, Juana. How you feeling, Juana?
Connected to 355.
How you feeling, Juana?
Straight drop, straight drop. See you down.
Thank you, Miss Red. Hey, Steel. Who else? Let me see. Can I go up? Y'all know my old ass. Hey, Miss Hadeline, thanks for coming in, coming through. It's me, Felicia. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank y'all. Miss Hadeline, hey. Thank you for coming in, honey. It's me, Felicia Strawberry. Thank you all so very much. I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll get better every time. So you guys have something else that you guys want to talk about, hit me in my email. All music is straight drop elite. Sub, share today. Straight drop elite.
I got the key to the right. Hurricane flow, typo. My bitch is bad, it might go. They so good, rhinos. Still let me ride them like dinos. Niggas like, how do you find those? I was just following my notes. I'm getting finer as time goes. That diamond shining tonight, though. Your bitch blew a bag on your boy. She said blow it back and enjoy. Got her head blowing back in the Porsche. I had to rejoice. Word, the casual voice. I blew the cash like a fan in the wind. I'm blowing gas on the fabulous strands. I get it back in the air. She like, drop top, big top, streamline, rewind, remix. We live, she live, east side, we hit, no dice, wait. Oh my, she lit, she like, drop top, big top, streamline, rewind, remix. We live, she live, east side, we hit, no dice, wait. Oh my, she lit. I do the most to a newbie. A controllable smoke nigga, ooh wee. Need a Monty, a yacht, and a Uzi. I just call me your body, I do this. Smelling like Chronic and Gucci. Masterpiece, about it, I knew it. I'm at the top of the food chain. Check the new Method Man without Wu-Tang. I am the Mr. Gold Link. Mr. Chinatown remix OD. I be in the shade with connects. Way in the west. Perfect brain waves on the set. Killer hurricane deck in the Dutch. Now a nigga game changing the clutch. Long armor ring a 10 with a drum. That's word of my mother. Get the KK and roll up another. They don't want me published and sparking like jumpers. I run in no cardio covered. I'm like the inside of your oven. Something you hoping not to get into. Gas up and slide in the runner. I might be so high I can fly in the barrel. Gone. She like, drop top, big top, streamline, rewind, remix. We live, she live, east side, we hit, no dice, wait. Oh my, she lit, she like, drop top, big top, streamline, rewind, remix. We live, she live, east side, we hit, no dice, wait. Oh my, she lit.